Hey guys, Adam here, and in this video, I'm going to share with you 7 of the most profitable business ideas you can start right now. The business ideas I'm going to share here are all in high demand growing markets and are going to be a mix of both online and offline businesses. So it really just comes down to choosing the right business idea for you. So let's get things started with one of the fastest growing industries today, which is none other than online courses. E-learning and online courses and online education, or however you want to spin it, well, they really are the future of education, and they're a multi-billion-dollar industry that just continues to grow year after year. Most of this is being driven by demand, with more clients and more customers and more students essentially seeking out and actively participating in online training and online courses, and really just wanting more of them. The other thing that's fueling this growth, though, aside from all the things going on in the world and in the markets right now, is the fact that creating online courses has never been easier than it is today, thanks to advances in technology and new software and new tools that really make creating an online course easier and more accessible than ever before. The key for you to really be successful, though, when it comes to an online course business model, using this as your business idea, well, it really comes down to the overlap between 3 different things. The first of which is, what skills or what talents do you already possess? For example, are you really good in the kitchen and a really good cook? Or are you incredibly fast at typing and can help people improve their typing speed? Or are you a seasoned musician and really skilled at guitar, could help people learn guitar? Essentially, take a look at yourself and at your skills and at your talents and try to figure out what you do better than the average person. What is it that people are always asking you for advice for, or asking you questions about, or what is it that you find yourself doing hour after hour, day after day, for months or for years on end? Next, you've got to figure out what you're passionate about. For example, you may be exceptionally skilled at typing really fast, but if there's no passion there and you don't really want to spend your career teaching other people to type, probably best not to do that one. The key here, and one of the factors behind successful online courses, is passion, is energy, is excitement, which means you've got to find something that you actually truly enjoy and actually want to help other people learn as well. The third piece, and probably the most important, is there market demand? Which means, are there people out there who are willing to pay you for your course? Essentially, are they willing to buy what you're selling? This is incredibly important, obviously, because if you spend all sorts of time and energy building an online course that nobody wants, well, awkward. This is why before creating an online course, or before doing any of the business ideas that I'm going to be sharing with you, you want to do a little bit of due diligence, a little bit of research to try to figure out if there's market demand and if you have competitors in the space. You see, competitors, or having competition, is actually a really good thing, because typically it proves market demand, because if they're in business, well, it means that you might be able to be in business as well. All right, so we've got online courses covered, but what should you do if you have a talent, or you have a skill, or some area of expertise, but you don't necessarily want to spend all of the time and all the energy creating a course? Well, fortunately, there's still a really good business idea for you, and that is online coaching or online consulting. You see, the online coaching and online consulting business has really exploded in the last few years, and in the best way possible. Again, mostly driven by demand for these types of services, but with all kinds of new technology and new tools, well, it really makes offering these services easier and more practical and more profitable than ever before. Now, the key to finding what area you want to focus in with your online coaching or with your online consulting really comes down to the same questions we asked when you were looking at an online course topic, which is, number 1, what skills, what talents, or what area of expertise do you have? Number 2, what are you passionate about? What do you enjoy talking about and helping others achieve? And number 3, what areas have sufficient market demand? Essentially meaning there's other competitors in this space, there's other courses, there's books written on the topic, there's workshops, things like that show that people are willing to pay for the solutions that you may be able to offer. The odds are good that you've got a skill, you have some kind of experience or some kind of knowledge or talent that other people would be willing to pay to get access to help them shorten their learning curve and really achieve some kind of result. Now, some markets are naturally going to be more profitable, whether we're talking about online coaching or online consulting or the online course market or any of the expert-based businesses. These are going to be markets like health or business or marketing or relationships or things like that. That said, I've met and helped make plenty of millionaires in all kinds of different niches, from soap making to baby sleep training. So let me ask you, can you think of a special skill or a talent or something that people are always asking you for help with? If so, let me know in the comments below. Really curious to hear. And these would be a great place to start getting ideas and getting inspiration for this type of business. All right, time for an offline business idea that always has high demand, and that is home services. Now, the reason that a home services business is such a great business idea, especially if you're just getting started, is one, because there's a ton of demand, and there's always going to be demand for this type of thing, especially today when people are busy, like really busy. And two, just like with an online course or with coaching or consulting, well, it doesn't require too much overhead or too much investment or too much capital, basically too much money to get started. Now, when it comes to home services, there's a ton of different options available, so you really can pick and choose and find the best one for you. For example, you could offer home cleaning services. You could do lawn care or landscaping. You could offer home organization and help people organize their homes, their offices, their garages, pretty much everything. Home organization is a huge trend right now, and you'll see all kinds of shows popping up on Netflix and new books being launched on it, and essentially it shows there's a lot of demand for this. Or if you're a little more mechanically minded, you could offer handyman style services by fixing things or hauling away junk or taking care of basic repairs. The point is, as long as people have homes, they're going to need people to help them look after those homes. All right, let's move on to the next business idea, which is bookkeeping. Now, bookkeeping is going to be one of the first services, one of the first tasks that most business owners, most entrepreneurs need to delegate, need to outsource, and need to get help with, which means that this business service is always going to be in demand. As a bookkeeper, it's your job to help the business with things like financial reports and tracking transactions and deposits and credits and putting together simple reports and things like that. Essentially, helping businesses stay on top of their finances and their accounting. If you like numbers, are highly organized, are a stickler for details, and don't mind taking some basic bookkeeping training, well, this might be a really good business idea for you. Another benefit of this is bookkeeping work can usually be done remotely, which means you can live the laptop lifestyle and work from anywhere that you want and largely set your own hours. So on the topic of living the laptop lifestyle and setting your own hours, let's talk about the next business idea, which is to be a virtual assistant or online business manager. With more new online businesses starting today than ever before, and with this number continuing to grow month after month and year after year, getting started as a virtual assistant is a pretty decent business idea for the right kind of person. As a virtual assistant, your work is going to be varied, although maybe somewhat repetitive, by taking care of things like scheduling and calendars and basic administrative stuff and maybe some social media posting too. As you build up some clients and start to get more experience as a virtual assistant, well, you can sort of self-promote yourself to the role of online business manager, which is kind of a cross between a virtual assistant and a full-blown chief operating officer. If you're highly organized, incredibly productive, a self-starter, and you're the kind of person that took notes in high school with different color markers and highlighted them and organized them all nicely with tabs, well, then you're going to be perfect for a virtual assistant or online business manager role. All right, it's time for a bit of a curveball business idea, one that you may not have heard before, but one that is still growing in popularity and is a really good alternative to kind of the more traditional route, and that is a food truck. Now, here's the thing. Starting a food truck is definitely going to require more capital, more investment, basically more money than any of the other ideas on this list. However, if you're the kind of person that may have always wanted to start a restaurant and really likes food, well, a food truck is a safer, easier, and lower cost way to kind of enter the food services market. You see, when it comes to restaurants, they've got a famously high failure rate. Somewhere around 80 or 90% of restaurants fail within about 5 years, which is terrifying. Food trucks, on the other hand, well, they still have a pretty high failure rate, around 60%, I believe, but that's a little bit less at least than 90%. Which again is terrifying. Plus, with a food truck, well, you could always drive to a different location and you don't have as much sunk costs into a building and into the facility, so you could always sell it. Plus, you can always move your food truck to a better location. Try your luck over there. The thing with this business idea though is, while it might be great for some people, it is going to be a significantly higher risk, due largely to the amount of money involved. So it's incredibly important that you do your due diligence, which means researching everything that you possibly can on this idea, including going to Amazon and buying every book on starting a food truck, for which there's actually quite a few, subscribing to food truck blogs and watching food truck YouTube videos, and essentially reading and researching and listening and watching everything you can about the subject before diving in. All right, let's head back for an online business idea now, for a safer but still incredibly high demand business, which is to start a social media marketing agency. The idea to start a social media marketing agency first came up a few years ago, and a lot of people dove in headfirst, smacked their head on the bottom, and left never to be seen again. Obviously, you don't want that to happen to you. So here's what you need to do in order to avoid failing in this what could be a very profitable industry, and one that I've used in the past and with great success. First, to truly succeed with a social media marketing agency, you actually need to know how to do social media marketing. This means learning and studying and watching videos and taking courses and reading books and doing everything you can to build up the foundational knowledge and essentially learn the fundamentals of marketing and social media marketing so you can actually get results for your clients. Next, you need to understand that the hardest part of running a social media marketing agency is getting clients, which means you're going to need to spend a considerable amount of your day and of your time on your own marketing. Now, fortunately, you're going to need to spend a considerable amount of your time and of your energy on your own marketing no matter what business you choose, because the hardest part of all businesses is getting clients, marketing, and essentially getting your name out there. But for a social media marketing agency, it's that much more important because learning marketing is not only going to help you, but it's also going to help your clients. So it's win-win all around. Long story short, marketing. It's important. And that's why the next thing you're going to want to do is check out the video I have linked up right here on Introduction to Marketing. So make sure to check that out now, and I'll see you in the episode. Marketing is a major business function that's made up of a bunch of other parts, one of which, of course, is advertising. But there's also a ton others like PR, market research,